If you're used to seeing green in your portfolios, the past week had been a wake-up call. Many portfolios were seeing big reds. The tech-heavy Nasdaq was subject to heavy selling, falling off almost 5%. The US House passed the 1.9 trillion package. Investors were concerned that this would lead to a rise in inflation and thereby the Fed would raise the interest rates. Stock prices and interest rates go in opposite directions. When interest rates rise, the cost of borrowing increases and that puts a pressure on the stock prices. On the other hand, the interest rates have been close to zero for the past few years. That led to the bull rally. In this video, we will evaluate the reasons why the market crash happened. Also, answer the burning question of, is this a market correction or will it lead to a bigger crash of 30 to 40%? Why has the tech sector been hit so hard? Also, as investors, is there a way we can protect our portfolios by this downturn? And more importantly, can we profit during this market sell-off? Hi, my name is Arshad Ahmed. I'm a founder of DIYstockpicker.com, an investment portal dedicated to help investors make intelligent decisions. I post videos every week of EV stocks and growth stocks. But many of my friends were reaching out to find out the reasons why the market sell-off is happening and is a stock market crash coming. That is why I have decided to make this video. Every week I send out a newsletter free of charge. I have put the link in the description, so please sign up for that newsletter. The main reason for the market correction had been the 10-year treasury bond. The interest rate had risen to 1.6% on Thursday and it closed at 1.51% on Friday. For the record, the 10-year treasury yield was 1.09% at the start of January. That's almost a 0.6% rise in a matter of couple of months, which is very high at historically low rates. Investors got spooked that this rise in yield is due to the rise of inflation and not due to better economic conditions. Inflation is bad for the economy. The Fed has to tackle rising inflation and the way they do is raise the interest rates. As the interest rates rise, the cost to borrow money increases. The bull market has been fed by cheap money that has been being printed by the Fed and also the low interest rates. The Nasdaq has been growing due to the rise of growth stocks. These stocks are priced for future earnings. There are no current earnings for these stocks. So as the interest rates rise, the growth may not be sustainable. That led to a sell-off, especially in the growth stocks. If you look at the dividend yield of S&P 500, it is 1.5%, which fell a little less than the 10-year treasury bond yield. That led to concerns that investors are moving their money from growth stocks to value stocks and dividend stocks. On Friday, there was a sell-off of $2.5 billion before the closing. Then the question comes, why were the growth stocks and especially technology stocks hit? The reason is the tech stocks were the biggest benefactors of the pandemic. As the lockdowns were enforced, the world shifted to a new way of working. Remote work became the norm. This led to a huge boost for stocks like Zoom and Slack. People shopped online, thereby boosting e-commerce businesses like Amazon, Shopify, Etsy, etc. Pandemic-led boredom led to an increase of streaming services like Netflix and video game players like Roblox. Food delivery businesses were seeing a boost, which led to Dash going through its IPO. The retail sector was the worst hit. Retailers like Kohl's and Nordstrom had to draw down huge loans from the revolver facilities just to stay afloat. JCPenney, the iconic retailer, went bankrupt during the pandemic. The travel sector also was worst hit. Airlines and cruise stocks fell like a brick. The demand for oil dropped as travel reduced and the production increased at the same time. That led to a double whammy, whereby collapsing the entire energy sector. Now with the availability of vaccines, life is coming back to a normal. The retailers are opening up and travel is increasing. The growth stocks, which saw huge valuations, are cooling off. The EV stocks and SPACs, which were subjected to intense speculation, are also cooling off. Investors are slowly cycling their money from these growth stocks into value stocks. Now to answer the question, will this lead to a bigger crash? What we saw was just a market correction of 5%. Usually a stock market crash will be 30 to 40% at least, and it may fall even 60 to 80%. Fed Chairman Jerome Powell has vowed that the Fed will keep the interest rates as low as possible for as long as possible. The Fed is not convinced that the economy is returning to a normal, so they have pledged to keep the interest rates low. The central banks around the world are purchasing government bonds. The reason the yield on the 10-year is rising is because no one is interested in purchasing these federal bonds. So as the price of the bond decreases, the yield increases. So the Fed has pledged that it will start buying the treasury bonds. Also, the Fed has assured the investors that even in future when they will raise the interest rates, They will make sure that they will do it as gradual as possible and will give enough time for the market to price in those interest rate hikes. The US House has passed the 1.9 trillion COVID relief bill, and the Senate is also expected to pass the bill. That will lead to 1400 direct deposit checks into the pockets of Americans. There are rumors that President Biden may even push for a second set of stimulus checks after this COVID relief bill passes. So we see that the stimulus payments are not leaving anytime soon, and Fed is not raising the interest rates. So there is no reason for getting spooked in this environment. In this kind of environment, I would leave you with 5 things to consider. The first is to understand the difference between investing and speculating. Both are not the same. In investing, you're putting your money in businesses that have a good growth potential. As the businesses do well, so do your stock prices. In speculation, there are no fundamentals for the businesses, but just because prices are going up or because of the rumors, you put your money in those kind of stocks. I would especially say avoid the penny stocks, research the companies, and then invest your money in good quality companies who have good earnings. The second thing to understand is that individual stocks are volatile by nature. They go up and down with the market. But over the long term, if you invest in good businesses, you will do well. Treat stocks as businesses. If you want to purchase a business, the first thing you would look is what is the revenue of the business and what are its profits. And you would also try to get an idea of how the business would do over the long term. What are the profitability for the market conditions and who are its competitors. Treat stocks the same way. Understand the environment in which stocks operate, the market conditions, and the competition. The third point I would like to say is always have cash in your portfolio to buy the dips in the market. Time to time, the market is subject to extreme volatility. When the market goes down, this is usually an opportunity to buy the dips and purchase stocks that were at a high price. The fourth is do not panic and sell your stocks. That way, you would just be locking your losses. Read the market history and see how the crashes happened in the past. And people who had good quality businesses during that time and who did not panic and sell, usually the stocks recovered within a period of 2 years. And in fact, as the market recovered, these stocks gave huge returns for the investors. The fifth point I'd like to make is have a good mix of growth and value stocks in your portfolio. Do not just put all your money in growth stocks because the market conditions with low interest rates are not going to last forever. So always have your money in good value stocks which do not grow as much, but they are stable. Usually during crashes, they do not go down as much. And maybe that may be a saving account kind of thing for you where you can sell those stocks at time of market crashes and purchase the growth stocks. Also, I would suggest that individual stocks are not for everyone. There is no shame in purchasing market ETFs and investing passively. That way you don't have to worry about the market conditions. Just sit and forget. Dollar cost average the market ETFs and you'll do well over the long time. Historically, the stock market has returned 6 to 8% annually. So if you compound your money at that rate over a period of 15 to 20 years, your portfolio should see good returns. I hope you found the video informational. I have analyzed a lot of EV stocks and growth stocks on my channel. If you have not yet subscribed, please subscribe to my channel and hit the notification button so you get all the updates. Also check out my website diystockpicker.com and sign up for the free weekly newsletter. Thank you for watching the video.